Sebastian.
Hey Tracy, how's it going?
Hi, good. Thanks for doing this NativeScript thing with me today. I'm super curious about learning about it and building my first NativeScript app.
Cool.
Yeah,
Let's see how far we can get with that.
I know.
Am I sharing my screen or no?
No,
It's
you're not
just your
sharing.
screen. All right.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you just press this thing right here.
I
Yep,
think
there
I'm
you go.
sharing now.
Woo! Okay.
All right. Let's see. All right. So you asked how we do the whole code sharing in NativeScript.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I should explain you a little bit of the basics. So what we do is actually we run a JavaScript virtual machine that is pre-packaged with the application. So basically, that's what can compile and then run your JavaScript code on the
Mm-hmm.
application, right? And whenever you make like calls to the native API, we take you through this bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is, I'll give you an example. If you, for example, wanted to create a new file object using Android API, what you could
Mm-hmm.
do is just literally call new java.io.file and provide some path. So what we're doing right here with this one line of code, we're running a JavaScript code
Mm-hmm.
against native Android SDK. Okay, and so this will basically be evaluated by V8 because that's what we use for Android,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go through a few steps. So the first step is we'll take the path, so that's the JavaScript type, and we're gonna convert it into Java lang string, which is a
Mm-hmm.
native Android string.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, then the next thing is we go to metadata. So metadata is basically this dictionary of all the available functions and types that exist, in this case, on inside the Android SDK.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we go to metadata, and we go and we find this constructor that we use now to create a file object, right? So right now we have the native string object, we have the function we want to call natively on Android, and that's where we go into the call dispatcher. So the call dispatcher is this piece of code that basically works through reflection. So it allows us to call this Java IO file natively and provide the native string object, which will create a native Android file object for us. And then as a result, we kind of get like two pieces. So on the Android side, we get a native file object, and then on the JavaScript side, we have like this custom proxy object. So this is pretty much the object you get back in JavaScript, and that's the object you'll be dealing with. So whenever you, for example, let us say file.write, uh, this call will be delegated to the native object.
So
So
how is this
yeah.
different from like React Native? Uh, like with React Native, you basically have JavaScript handlers to native code.
Yeah, so as far as I understand, basically the way it works, you have this abstraction layer that if you wanted, for example, to create a new file, you just use the abstraction, which we do as well. So let me just show you that, and then maybe we can go over. So what happens is basically, and that's what we do. Like you shouldn't really need to write native code directly against Android and iOS every time.
Mm-hmm.
So what you would do is, for example, you would import yourself like a file system module,
Mm-hmm.
and then this module knows how to create a file on iOS using iOS code or Android code. So if you, for example, say just new file, this would then translate at the build time to either the Android code or the equivalent iOS code.
What do you think the differences are between NativeScript and React Native?
So I think the difference in this case would be where with React Native you basically go straight to the abstraction layer.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you wanted to make a call directly against native API, as far as I understand, you actually have to uh, write native code. Like you have to build those abstractions first before you can call it. So uh, unless I'm mistaken, you cannot make calls directly against native API. Okay, so imagine this file system abstraction didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
With React Native, you wouldn't be able to create a new file. But with NativeScript, if this abstraction didn't exist, you could literally just go back to this approach, just call new Java IO file, and then you'll be able to do it on Android or write the same code in JavaScript for iOS. So that's the big thing. This comes in handy actually in situations where you want to take a picture or check accelerometer, or all of those things are like you have plugins for that. But the problem is, imagine I don't know, somebody gives you like an external device that you can plug to your phone by USB cable, and that, let's say, device is like some sort of magnetic scanner. Okay. And that scanner might have like a native Android SDK, native iOS SDK. So if you wanted to, let's say, use NativeScript to kind of integrate with this native SDK, you could just basically check their documentation and write directly JavaScript calls against their SDK.
Yeah,
and that worked directly without any problems.
I think with React Native, what they have is they have like these. They have these different components like text or view, and then these are translated to native components.
Yeah. So and we do pretty much the same thing. So if you look at NativeScript React Native at the layer of the abstraction,
it's the same.
So let's say you're creating yourself an application and you want a label and a couple of buttons and image. You just basically say add a stack layout, add a button, and then when you build the application for either iOS or Android, basically both NativeScript and React Native, they will give you the equivalent native UI components for those tags that you created. Like what I'm saying is like in our case, if there is a functionality that doesn't exist as this abstraction layer, you can actually use you can use JavaScript to code directly to the native API. So, to the native API.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I'm just getting into React Native, so I'm not the best person to like. I mean, I don't want this to be a comparison thing, but I'm just curious because I've been learning React Native and messing around with React Native, so I wanted to get your opinion. But unfortunately, for anybody who's actually listening to this, I'm not the best person to talk about the strong differences. Maybe I will be soon, but not yet. Okay, so let's build an app. Oops.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, so let's build an app. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, cool.
The most important thing. Okay. All right. So how do I start? What's the
So you went
TNS new? What? I don't know. Oh God. Okay. Hi. I know.
Yeah. So go to just do TNS new.
Oops.
And then give the project a name.
Does it have to be like camel case, kebab case?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay. First NativeScript. Okay.
And then too soon.
Whoops. Go ahead.
It's actually not new. It's TNS create. And then at the end, just add --ng.
Because we're doing Angular.
Yeah, we're gonna use Angular. Because basically you can use either just pure JavaScript or TypeScript, or you can use Angular template. So that's what the --ng does.
Oh my God. Bring him back to the Angular. Makes me happy.
Of course. I mean, I thought you wanted to build an Angular app, right? So let's do that. So, and you said you already had all the Xcode and everything installed, so we should be good.
Mm-hmm.
So once that's done, you can just go inside the folder. So yeah, cd first. App. Yeah, and to run the application, you just do tns run iOS. And that should be enough for us to start our very first project.
Oh yeah.
So one of the things we do as well, like by default, we start the application in the live sync mode. So
Wait, start the
basically
application in what?
in the live sync mode.
Oh.
So live sync allows you to basically update the application you just built
Oh, got it.
as soon as you save every file.
Yeah, that's
So-
nice.
So it's pretty cool. I mean, that should be like expected by default, and React Native does the same exactly. If the build process takes, let's say, half a minute or 10 seconds, depending on how strong your machine is, it saves you a lot of time. Go to the whole build every time.
No red screen. No red screen. I've been getting a lot of red screens lately.
It's a red screen.
Like you have an error.
Oh, right, like loads of errors over there. Hopefully you'll build the application.
Yeah, so debugging is a pain in the butt.
Is it?
I mean,
NativeScript.
I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious about debugging in NativeScript.
Yeah. Okay. So
Because if it's just like debugging JavaScript, I'm really happy. But
So literally we'll be debugging the application. So this is like just a Hello World app, that has some basic routing enabled already, etc. Do you have VS Code? Maybe you can open the app in VS Code.
yeah, for sure. I have a feeling I'm really gonna like NativeScript.
Well, let's hope so. Okay, cool. So the app that we've seen so far, I can take you a little bit through the code of what's over there. So if you go to app
Let's make this a
folder,
little bit bigger. Can I make this a little bit bigger? There we go. Okay, app folder. Yep.
then so let's go to item folder again.
Okay.
So we have like a couple of components here, and then we have the item service. So let's start with items.component.ts. So basically, this one uses like this item service to load all the items. So these are the names of the football players over here, and then like inside engine init, which is getting all the items and assigning the
Right.
items array. Okay, so if you go to items.component.html, we can ignore that sense for a second.
Items.component. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So this is the UI abstraction for now. So let me think we do. So basically, this is what we use to define inside the UI. Okay. So first thing, we have an action bar. So in action bar, we're saying, okay, the title should be my app, use the class action bar, and that creates this action bar just over here. Okay. The next thing is like say, okay, so this screen over here, we're going to use a stack layout. So stack layout allows you to add components one below the other, or you can do it horizontally as well. Horizontally or vertically, there's two options, right? So inside there, we have this list view. So the list view basically say, hey, let's get all the items from the items of the array, and then for each of them, we have ng template. So this is the standard Angular stuff. So we have ng template, and then for every item.
What's ng template?
So ng template is what you use if you, for example, I don't know, have list views, or you have some sort of components that you pass in an array and you want to render each of those items individually. So you can actually provide a template for each of the items.
I'm just curious about the docs. So
Cool.
Let's say, okay, so stack layout. Where?
Scroll up for a second.
Uh-huh.
So our documentation is divided into two parts. You have NativeScript core, which is for JavaScript, and NativeScript with Angular, which is for Angular. So since we're looking at Angular, let's focus on that. So if you want to use that various component, you can go to user interface over there, and you have like
Layouts.
pretty much everything. Yeah, so you have layouts, you have containers, and I think there you go. So kind of explains what sort of layouting profile you have. I think there you go. So these are the types of layouts you can have. So you can have flexbox, absolute doc layout, etc. So you can use each of those.
Every time you use one, do you need to import it somewhere?
No, so those layouts and pretty much all NativeScript components are available out of the box. So it's
Okay.
that's already in there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so if you wanted to use doc layout instead, you could just change it in our code to doc layout and that will work straight away.
And then where's the, okay, so let me click on stack layout and just.
Usually
Okay.
you don't have to scroll if your screen is like half yellow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there, oh, okay, got it. I was like, wow. Okay, so stack layout, orientation, horizontal, label, create a stack layout.
Yeah, so in our documentation we'll show you two things. We can show you, so first thing here that you see is basically how to do it inside HTML. But as well we can show you like, hey, if you want to create your stack layout dynamically, this is how you would do it from JavaScript. So that's kind of like more like if you want to, I don't know, generate the screens on the fly using JavaScript.
But what about with Angular?
So, and those are pretty much Angular examples.
Oh, got it. Sorry.
Yep.
And then this just shows you how. So you're using another component called list view.
Yep. It's.
Oh, there it is, list view. Can I just do like a UI or a UL LI thing, or?
So you could, but if you're in Visual Studio Code, we need to install a plugin for that, and that's actually really cool. So if you go over here to plugins and search for NativeScript, there are two plugins that we should install. So let's install the red one first, NativeScript. Yeah, this one. And I think the other red one too. So the first one is, yeah, and you have to reload the project. So the first one basically allows you to actually build the applications directly from within Visual Studio Code, and the second one gives you code snippets, right? So if we, for example, let me do this for a second. If you want to just add a label here, right? You type NSL, right? And then hit enter, and that already generates you the label structure. So you could say hello from Tracy or whatever you want to do there. And if you say, oh, so, and there you go, you have your hello label popping up over there. Similarly, if you want to create a list view, you can do NSL, and then you had a whole list of options there. So you had.
Oh, this is great.
Speaker. So those code snippets, like, oh, you added a slider. Yep, you did a slider.
Oh my God, I'm like really happy right now. What's value? Oh.
So, yeah, it's the current value.
Oh my God, I am like
cool, huh?
back in happy land. Yes.
So, like, one of the things I never remember how to write is the list view itself. So I usually go like, I use those code snippets to generate my list view of whatever components I want to have, which is really cool.
Okay, and this one was the snippets.
Yeah, so that was the snippets. So what else we could do over here is
I want to create a I want to add an image. So let's add an image. Do you have images somewhere? Do we just create, let's see, app? Do you have like some?
I think there is an image in app resources if you check.
Okay. So do I put all my? No, looks like not.
So yeah, inside iOS. So what you can do is you can do images in two ways. So you can do it as part of assets. So then you can provide them in like for small screens, medium screens, large screens, etc. Or we could just like dump one file and create a folder for images. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it.
Yeah, so I can say new file, I can say image, and then we can create So let me just get a let me get an image. Let's see, React Native, Jeopardy. It's funny, the world of internet. I know. Okay, so now, okay, so what's the difference of me dump? Okay, so I put an image folder so I can use it in iOS or Android.
Yep.
What's the difference? Like, what if I just stick it in here? Then I can just use it for. Oops, did I put it in the wrong?
So,
I did.
Yeah, you put it in the other folder.
But what about just putting it in Android or?
So basically, what happens is you should use those if you have, for example, like your icons, and you could have icons in like small, medium, and large. And the reason why you want to do is like imagine you're building something for like an iPhone 5, let's say, and then you're building as well for a tablet, right? If
I
the
see.
tablet image might take 200 kilobytes, the one for phone might be 20 kilobytes. So you shouldn't waste memory, right? You can basically use the best available images for each. That's the whole point. So that's basically a standard image management that you do in iOS and Android. And pretty much from Cordova to NativeScript, everybody uses that if you have those images in various sizes. All right. So if we
So this is all Angular.
Yep. So basically, we can add an image.
And you're using Angular's router? No.
We're using an equivalent of that. So basically, the way routing is done, routing, how we say over here, is actually done like on the mobile. It's actually done slightly differently. So we have our own implementation of it, but it works exactly the same way. So if you basically have a look, you want to do the router now or images first?
Let's do the router first, the router first. So let's create a let me create a new a component. Can I do like what's the
CLI won't work with NativeScript. So
okay.
that's something we have to do manually for now.
Okay, so I just create a new
Yeah.
well, I create a new folder it looks like, right?
Yep.
And I'll call this Jeopardy. And
Perfect.
then in that I'll create a new file and we'll call it jeopardy.component.t.
Yep.
Why is there a .js?
Because that gets compiled. So all the TypeScript files
Whoa.
get compiled with JavaScript automatically.
Weird. So it just automatically creates it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And then I want a jeopardy.component.html. Oh, I spelled this wrong. This is going to be bad if I rename it.
Oh yeah, just rename the TypeScript one.
Okay.
Perfect. So, okay. So, I mean, we can just copy one of the components from the item. Rather. So let's copy just this part and figure out the rest as we go.
Okay.
All right. So.
So I need the. Do I need the router always?
So since we'll be are we gonna pass in any parameters inside there? So.
I think I just want the images, but I don't need to import the images, right?
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you don't have to import images. Let's.
So I delete all this.
So the selector should be NS Jeopardy, and the template URL would be Jeopardy. So component.html, and
this is called Jeopardy component.
Item,
I need the private route, right?
So, yeah. I'm not not sure. Are we gonna pass in anything inside there? Maybe comment this out for a second and then we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Alright, so we have our component on init, create a root. Cool. So let's save that. So first, in order to add this component, we have to add it to app.module.ts. Let's go to type one.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, I have a setting in my VS Code that hides the JavaScript files.
Oh, that's nice. Oops, sorry.
Jeopardy, you still have to provide the folder Jeopardy for.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. And now we have to just add Jeopardy.
Where do I import it?
Declaration.
Yeah. There we go.
Alright, so now our component is ready. Let's add it to the router now. So you can go to yes, and let's add it. You know the drill.
This is so refreshing.
I mean, you're just writing Angular code, right?
Why did I not do this with you so much sooner?
So actually, if you hover over like you can do command dot.
Command
Period, yeah, and then do import.
Wait, what?
Just,
Command dot.
Yeah, and then press import, and we just have to change the app to dot dot.
Whoa! What was that?
Correct.
Was that JavaScript or was that?
It's actually VS Code helping you with imports. It's available even in like for web projects. You can do exactly the same.
That made me
and
really.
TypeScript, they're aware of all the components that are all around, and then they can help you with imports.
That made me so happy just now.
Yeah, the only problem is that it kind of gave you the path with app/Jeopardy, which NativeScript doesn't like, so we have to change just to dot. All right, so now we have a root. So what we can do is let's save. You wanna save this, yeah. All right, so we have a root. So let's just go to our Jeopardy component HTML and just like create a label. Say we're here, like NS label. NS. Perfect. So that's one thing. And now let's go to our items component.html. So what we have to do in order for you to navigate to that page, we can use that label.
Mm-hmm.
So go to the label and do the following. You see here like this one and then
We're
gonna do the same.
So whenever you do that, whenever you want to route to something, do you always use label?
No, I mean.
Oh, you can use it in anywhere.
It could be any component. It could be a button. It could be any. And to be fair, let's do a button. Button would be better because it looks like something you should click, right? So just btn and then btn. There you go. See, you're loving it.
I know.
So yeah, give any text. We're not gonna use tab. So.
What is tab?
So you know how in web you have on-click event?
Yeah.
Clicking. On mobiles you don't click, you tap. So this is the equivalent.
So why are we deleting it? Why aren't we using it?
So we can now do the navigation in two ways. You could either do it from JavaScript or we could do it directly in HTML. So let's do it in HTML first.
Okay.
And then we can use the NSRouter link. So add the square brackets NSRouter link. And that will be equals, and then again, single quote / Jeopardy, right? That was the root you were using, right?
Oh yeah. Let me go back real quick because I want to. So slash server. Okay, I want to go back to my router real quick just to look at that. So path is Jeopardy. Okay, got it. All right, so items. Okay, so
now if we build, yeah, I should be able to save it. Oh, I think you killed LiveSync, so you have to go to command line again and then run TNS. Oh no, yeah, TNS run iOS.
no such file. Jeopardy. Oh, because I changed the name.
Oh yeah.
Remember when I changed the name? Oh wait, did it just fix itself? No, because remember when I did the name and then I changed it?
Oh yeah. So maybe that you have just the spellings. Oh, maybe.
Jeopardy, component.ts. Oh no, wait, where was the module?
Might be inside.
Jeopardy. Did this compile wrong? Jeopardy
Should be.
because of the JavaScript file?
I mean, kind of things that there is Jeopardy file over there. Somewhere. What we can do is maybe kill LiveSync for a second, and then go back to your code. Oh, don't run the NativeScript yet.
Okay.
Okay, go back and there's a platform folder. If you scroll down onto your project.
A platforms folder. Okay.
Yeah,
Delete it?
yeah. I'm gonna build again. I'm not sure that matters. Yeah, let's build again.
So when I have issues, I delete the platform folder.
Sometimes, like if something weird happens, rarely you might need to do that. But I'm trying to see where. Okay, just download everything. And this pretty much does like a clean build. There's as well like a dash clean flag that does it for you, but I'm lazy. I kind of have like this old habits of doing, this delete and stuff.
So you could do TNS run iOS dash clean.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think that's the flag. Clearly, I don't use it very often.
And this is rebuilding the whole application?
Yeah, it is, yeah. So that is slightly longer.
Do you ever have to go into Xcode to debug things or what?
No. So basically, you can debug JavaScript code directly. Like you could, for example, go into Xcode to debug stuff. So what happens? Okay, probably complain about
Can we let is it like running on in Chrome somewhere or oops. Hi. Is it running in Chrome somewhere? Is that how we debug?
So if you want to run debugger, let's see. We can do it from the user code. So if you go to the debug option, it's just on the left. You look at the fourth option here. This one.
It's a bug. I never noticed that. Okay.
So now you can click on this one. Oh no, that's sorry, the one next to it.
This one? Oh, this one.
Oh yeah. We did restart VS Code, right?
We didn't restart VS Code.
After installing the plugins, did we not do it? Yeah, you press.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
normally we should be able to just click over here and it should allow us to choose NativeScript from over there. We didn't install the right plugin. Yeah, we have NativeScript files. I'll have to check that. Alright, we're not going to use VS Code for debugging, we're going to use the command line. So what we can do is basically kill it and run tns debug iOS instead. So this will launch the iOS debugging tools, but we still will be able to basically run, debug against JavaScript.
Is that a NativeScript?
Yeah. But those tools are basically that are out of the Xcode debugging tools. But we will not be debugging native code, we'll be debugging JavaScript code. It's pretty cool. And if you use Android, we basically use Google Chrome developer tools directly in Google Chrome. So in a moment, this should pop up the Xcode. Usually the first time it takes a bit longer, but then once you've done it once, it's a lot faster. But if you make changes, it doesn't have to do a full reboot, it just refreshes the debugger.
NativeScript feels very comfortable.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. Also, it's like very much more, it's very much more like, I don't know, you guys already have the router, nobody has to think about that.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right? Like we're writing JavaScript code, right? So it should be there. So let me just show you, we have the item details component, right? So we have our ng init. I can put a breakpoint here. So going back to the application, if we choose one of them, see we stopped at the breakpoint. And we can, for example, see what was inside each of those. So back here, let's say snapshot. Maybe I can click enter and then kind of gives us what's available, or I can do dot param, and then this will return as an object, and basically, so that's what we get inside, is an ID 4. And we can as well like step over, so now basically we have an ID which is 4, and we have this item service. But what we could do is say, hey, what will happen if I actually say this dot item service dot get item, and we called 10 instead, and that will give us ID 10 name Messi roll forward. So you can even issue the calls or even hack it and say, no, my ID is 7. So you can change even the attributes. If I run the code, you see we loaded number 7, Jordiada, which is pretty cool. With the issue that we had...
Did you build this?
Our team did.
Does your team all like football?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. So, what's going on? So this is basically not a JavaScript call per se that we're making, so I couldn't debug it. Cannot match any roots. Jeopardy. It's a funny symbol there. Maybe there's something in the code like you were calling from items control.html. Oh, you added a bracket here. Right.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, you should reload the application. which is cool actually. We did something that was wrong, and then we were able to read the message from the router, and now there you go. We navigated to we are here.
Huh. That debugging was a little intense for me. I feel like I'm gonna have to pair with you on some debugging if
Yeah,
my
sure.
if my
I can
stuff
teach you
breaks.
debugging because it's very useful as well inside the web. I want to teach you another trick. Let's add additional. So let's add additional attribute to our navigation, to our button. So like out of the box, uh, iOS and Android, they have like a bunch of different animations.
Mm-hmm.
So we could actually use them very easy. I mean, we call it page transitions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you add a new property to the button, and that one is called page transition with lowercase p, right? And now we could, for example, call it, which one should we use? Slide bottom. So it's capital D and F, one word without the dash. Sorry. Oh,
Lowercase?
yeah, sorry. There you go. You can save it. So you reload the application. And now if when you navigate,
Okay, so where do I find that stuff?
okay, let's try to find it. So that will be
Button?
UI. No, it's not a button thing actually. It will be good point. Navigation probably. That's not really UI. I mean, let's search for it.
I mean, I feel like it should be in button.
No, but the thing is that
You can do it for anything.
It will be for anything. So anywhere you use an router link, you'll be able to navigate these transitions. So where are we? I think it's not the UI. See, I don't use our documentation very often. We can just search for it directly. So there's a search bar at the top next to get started here. So let's search for page transition. Or you can actually navigation as well. So it's fine. So the second one. So you have navigation and navigation. So you have everything you need to know about the outlets and everything. And now we can find there was a section saying specifying page transitions. Pages. So pretty much everything you need to know to transitions. That's right. There you go. So you can do page transitions basically either from JavaScript or through XML. Sorry, HTML.
But this doesn't tell me all the transitions I can have.
Wait, there should be a link.
Wait, okay, so by default, navigation animated using default transition. No transition flip to next.
Yeah, there should be a link. You're making a good point.
Here. Yeah? Maybe?
Yep. That's a link. Oh, that is a link. Yeah. Perfect.
All right.
There you go. So here's a full list. So curl is a really cool one. That is iOS only. And this one is like just kind of moving a page in a book from one to another.
This one's helpful. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think some the documentation is definitely something we strive to improve constantly because it is a tricky thing to do. And like developers don't like to do documentation.
Such truth. Okay, so like let's do, now we're fixing, okay, so now we can do, can I just do image?
Go back, so do ns image, ns item, there you go. So basically in here you provide URL to your image, so that's yeah.
Tell Dan I say hi during your meeting.
I will tell them, yeah. or sending video.
Just be like, why haven't you hung out with Tracy? She wants to know. Tracy's really upset. You guys both live in Raleigh.
Videos, it might be just instead of dot to apps. Oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't be debugging anymore. Like, try to kill the apps and then just continuous run iOS.
Okay.
Also, I think the URL was provided incorrect.
Whoa.
That's one thing I suck at. I never know what are the URLs to use.
How come I can't kill it? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's run. This will be fast.
Should be faster this time, yep.
What happened? Is it because of the image?
Yeah, I think it's not slow.
Isn't it supposed to be this? Is that why? Or no?
No, we need to close the tag. So yeah, because of the HTML parser we use, we always have to close it.
Why do I keep breaking things?
Yeah, I think he doesn't like the path. He might. What is it? Like that. Let's try that. No. Try navigating now.
But it was just because I put this in. The image.
Yeah, so I think my. Oh wait. So we could probably try to read the error and see what happens. Oh right, all right. I see. So it says more than one layout chart inside a content view. So what happens is basically the default container can only contain one HTML component. Yeah, and we right now giving a label and an image. So to avoid that, what we have to do is just give it a stack, some sort of layout.
Any layout.
Yeah, any layout. So now you see we'll have just one stack, but stack layout is capable of holding multiple components. So now rows. Right, at least we have to here.
And then this is probably that, right?
Possibly.
Yep. Oh, you know why? No. Nope. Let's just make sure there is a Jeopardy React. Jeopardy dash React. Okay, yeah.
I mean, I
Oh, you think it's app?
might have been.
Yeah, how do you debug that?
I actually don't know, because that's like inside HTML, and I know like the team is working on something that allows you to now start going directly and then like debugging what's inside HTML and make changes on the fly. But that's not until the next release, I think. Just give me a second. We might need to park that for a second. Our examples usually like show like image from a website or something. If you have this online, we can make it online for a second, and then I'll figure out how to do it from.
What do you mean if I have it online?
So if you added some like a URL, like an HTTPS or something somewhere, we could then do it that way.
I don't get it.
So,
oh, I see. If we just do like HTTPS.
and you can have that image somewhere online.
I think it's that. Is it placeholder? Let me see. Does that even go anywhere? Let's see. Is it? Okay. There we go. Where did they change this? I don't know. This is my favorite part, though.
Messing things up.
Well, I think it's important, right? Because I think the debugging is the hardest part. No, it's not working.
Let's try. Okay, I'm gonna ping you. Try this one.
Okay, is it because I didn't do HTTPS?
Yeah, I think might be something with because iOS might be blocking unsafe connections.
Uh-huh.
So that might be one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely matters to load an image. Yeah, but we should be able to figure out how to load an image from a folder. It's just I never remember. How is this on the symbol?
Did I get the path wrong?
I think it's the path that we're not getting right. I never remember what
So let me see.
because they usually use the resources. how about we try this? So yeah, so we instead of dot, yeah, we use tilde. Yeah. Without it. Yeah.
Aha!
It worked.
Okay. Now let's check the docs.
Jen says hi, by the way.
Oh, hi, Jen. Did you ask her?
I did, yes.
Thanks, Jen.
You are a star. Tracy says hi. I'm an idiot and I don't know how to import any images. I think that will go. Oh, hey, look, working images. The best thing.
Hey, look, if we had used the docs.
Oh, you would have, wouldn't it, right?
That's fun.
You sure you're talking to the right person?
Go figure. I love this, though. This is like, if everything goes smoothly, then you don't know how to troubleshoot, right? And then you're screwed. So, okay, so now we know how to load an image.
Okay, so what do you want to do in here?
I want to also, how do you load like content? If I just want to be like, hi, you should visit my site. Do I do div?
No. So what would you mean loading content?
Like just Jeopardy's a button.
Huh?
If I just want to say like, hello, go to my webpage.
And you wanted to open a webpage inside the application, or?
Yeah. Or link out.
I'm not sure how you do this.
Like find me on GitHub. What would I put this in though?
So maybe we could use, no, social share is different. I think there was a trick for that.
Text field? Oh, is there a hint? Okay, so like, hi, visit my site.
Oh, here we go. So there's a blog post.
Oh, thank you, Nick. Look, all my friends.
Good boy.
Do you say that to Nick? Nick, her boy, you're a good boy. Do you ever say that?
If he sees that, there you go. So this is the bit of code we need. So we just have to use the utility module. So we'll have to import that and then just say utility module.open URL and then pass in. So let's do in Jeopardy page, let's add a button. So we're gonna do the full loop here.
But what if I just want inline text, inline URL?
Okay, let's do a text. So basically we have to add a tab event here. So inside the text field. So, instead of click, we're gonna do tab. And then you say, oh, let's call it open page or whatever you want to call it. This is the function, so let's do a bracket. Yeah, and now we're gonna go to jeopardy.component.ts and then implement that.
Interesting. Okay, so
inside here, after entering it, let's just create. And curly brackets. We're not gonna pass in any parameters. You can hard code it. So basically, we can copy. So let's first so we need to import the utility module. So since it's TypeScript, we can do import.
where?
That'll be utils.
come back later? Okay. From where? Utils?
Util slash util. Let's do it, I think, except you could do it outside. You do it. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Utility.
Ah, it doesn't mention it.
No, it likes
does
it.
like it.
Oh, no.
Why doesn't it like it? I'm gonna check quickly in my project. You have to install utility? No, that is part of it.
Do I need to do it in the app module?
No, I don't think so. Uses, well, it says you can't see it. What if we just change this to require? It doesn't really require. What does it require? That should do it. Alright, so now we should be able to use the utility module and say utility module dot open URL.
Oh my god, what is that even?
So that's like I think the library that allows.
Also, do you know what's so funny? Look at this.
Yeah, it has here.
We literally are amazing. We're so good.
How about you? Yeah. Pasting, right?
Anyways, so what is this?
So this is a library, I think, that contains the function that allows us to open the website in the browser. So it's like any other libraries that you have.
It's in our app already?
Yep. So it's pre-packaged in the application.
Okay. Okay, so open page. Now what?
So you should do utility module dot open URL. There you go. And then you pass in the URL. That should do it. So save that, save that. I like how he was actually highlighting that open page wasn't implemented before. Now it's fine.
So how do I do like visit my site and only this one? I guess like that's not really a thing in iOS anyways, huh?
No. So clicking this.
Oh,
There you go.
magical. Okay. All right. So how do I deploy an app?
Deploy. Okay, that's a whole different thing. Before we get there, can we do one more thing?
Yeah.
I want to show you.
Yeah.
If you go to items.component.html,
Yeah.
so you're gonna love it because you see how the button wasn't particularly pretty. Like it was just like weird text. If you go even back to home, like it's just Jeopardy. So what we did is added some classes. So you can have different themes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you add class into the button, so class equals, and let's say btn space, and then btn dash primary. You're gonna love it. So say that. And now you have a pretty button.
Ooh.
Now, if you go to app.css, there you go. You can we preloading a theme for you. So change the core.light to Ruby. Like Ruby. Without the core dot. So say that. Now you have another pretty theme.
Oh my gosh, I love
Pretty cool,
it.
huh? So
Mm-hmm.
go to you can go to this URL, and there's a whole bunch of different themes that you can play with. So yeah, so there's like forest and sky. You have the whole listing here. So that basically out of the box, when you create a new project, we pre-package for you. So if you want to have like a small big label, you can use class like H1, H2, H3, like text alignment, like you will see, like you could do text dash center, and your label will be in the middle or right, you put it on the right hand side. So for example, the button, if you go to buttons, over here in the middle, here. Yeah. So you have like a whole set of them. So you can have an outline or add rounded corners, and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like out of the box, iOS and Android applications, they're ugly unless you apply some styling. So if you're like a good designer, you can bash in a bit of CSS quickly yourself. But if you're like me, who has no clue, I love those themes. Yeah, and you can see like even the slider use that theme. So if you go back to the code for a second and HTML, go to items.
Items?
Lost for a second.
I know.
Yeah. So you see slider uses class equals slider. So that basically uses the slider CSS definition from the theme. And all of that is actually CSS. So I can show you where that sits even. So if you go to node modules, yeah, we can style that.
Can you tell me how do I check which plugins I have?
So that it goes in the package. Sorry, yeah, the package.
Where?
Yeah, package.json. So yeah.
No. Which Atom plugins I have?
Oh, VS Code plugin?
Yeah, sorry, VS Code plugins.
I don't know. Let's hit F1 and then maybe.
Wait, I don't even have an F1.
Oh, actually no. For extensions, yeah, you can go to extensions, and that should be a list of all the extensions you have. So these are all your extensions that you have here.
Okay. So this one, is this the one? Which is the one that allows me to type like NS button?
So this is the NativeScript plus Angular snippets.
And what's this one?
So this one is the one that should allow you to debug your project. For some reason, your VS Code doesn't let you do it, which is very, very weird because it works on my machine.
Okay. And then, okay, so I figure out routing that.
What else you want to see?
I don't know.
We could load some data from an HTTP service if you want, if you have somewhere. So, but this is the cool thing. Like, if you want to make like a HTTP GET, it is exactly the same call as you would do with inside a web project. Except instead of importing the Angular HTTP module, you have to import NativeScript HTTP module.
Ooh, that
Pretty
sounds
cool.
awesome.
So I think at NGConf we did like TJ, me, Jen, we did a workshop on NativeScript. So I can give you a link if you want. So it kind of like takes you through not only how to build applications with NativeScript, but as well it kind of teaches you how to use Angular itself in a context of NativeScript. So if you're curious, you can have a look at that. So that talks about routing and page transitions, and if you want to use two-way binding or one-way binding, like all of this is pretty much covered there. So you can start with like the exercise 3 and then keep going.
Oh, that's really exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, like for example, if you want to pass in parameter to when you navigate to the next page, that's as well covered over there.
Wow. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. I think one of the cool plugins that people use, like TJ loves it. I think he wrote it. Is a social share.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, for example, inside your application, you have you want to have something like an image or a piece of text that you want to share on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, you could use his plugin. So that's the 1.6.1. It's really cool because you could use that plugin, like say social share text, and then from the UI, if you have like a list of items, actually read a piece of text, and then that pops up on your phone, like all the applications that are shareable, right? Like WhatsApp or whatever, and then you automatically paste that piece of code for you.
Import.
Yeah, so we can add that.
Is this in the
inside
app?
TypeScript. So let's add it to your Jeopardy component TS. Okay, so import here, and then let's add a new function here. Say lost it for a second. Yeah, the social share. So in basically here you can do social. So let's do one more thing. So social share should take a parameter. So let's give you the text. Text of type string. Cool. And now you can do social share dot share text. And then inside here we just pass in the text. So open brackets. And yeah, just pass in the text. Right. So. Oh no.
Oh, it has to be text. Oh, sorry. Okay.
It's a text for now. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be just this approach we're taking. So go back to you can save that, go back to HTML. So do Jeopardy component.html, and now let's add a button that will basically call that function, and the button will pass in. So let's say hi maybe, or whatever you want to say. And now we're gonna call the function. You call it what? Share text? What was it?
Here?
No. So inside the tab definition here. So you're calling the function of share text, open bracket, and then inside there we'll actually pass in the string, right? So single quote, and you have to, and then this will be the text that will be shared. There you go.
What doesn't like it?
No, not the function is stupid. Always called social share. Yeah, the function is. Come on, you should help Tracy a bit more.
There we go.
I mean, it was helpful to tell you that something was wrong. So, look at Jeopardy.
Did I kill the...
Oh, you killed it. Oh, yeah, because that's actually a good point, because this uses like an additional native library to use social share.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to like review the application. So yeah, adding native components. For adding native components, you have to kill the app, because basically native components get embedded into the application as you build. So it can't be handled through license.
Is there a big plugin community, or are you guys trying to build it?
So it's actually most of the plugins are done through community. So we kind of maintain some of the like core ones, like camera and some similar ones, but most of the plugins are built by the community. So if you go to like npm.js and search for NativeScript, there's a whole bunch of it. Or Rob Lauer, like the mobility dev manager, we created like a plugin site as well, which is really cool. I'll send you a link in a second. I found it. It's too easy. Plugins on native.org. Yeah. Like you have a whole list of various plugins that are available. Signature pad is pretty cool. It actually allows you to you can add like a new component, and it allows you to kind of draw with your finger to write signature and stuff. So if you're building an app for like delivery services, that one is pretty cool.
So how do you build a plugin? How do you create a plugin?
How do you create a plugin? TJ is actually just writing an article on that, so that will come out next week. So what we allow you to do, yeah, you can press on it. Basically, there's, so if you were running it on the phone, you pop up like whatever you have, like WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, as an option. So since the simulator doesn't have those applications,
Interesting.
but that's the whole point. So yeah, so to build plugins, we have like a what do you call it, like a GitHub project that you can clone, and then you basically can make changes to that project in order to create your own plugin. So TJ is just about to publish an article on how to do that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it requires a little bit of understanding. So usually plugins will have like both Android and iOS code. So let me show you something then. Can you Google NativeScript camera? That's the word there. And that's GitHub info. We want GitHub. There you go, that's that one. So that's done by Alex Vakrilov. He's one of our core developers. If you go to source, you see we have this notation. We have nativescript-camera.ios.ts, and we have nativescript-camera.android.ts. So this is how we do the abstraction. So if you go to, let's say, iOS one first, and we can find this take picture function. Search for it, or scroll to find it. So literally all of this code is using, there you go. So we have this take picture function that kind of sets up like the buffer and etc. whatever we need to take picture, and that you can see is actually using UI image picker controller. So this is native iOS component. So all of this code here is basically calling iOS functionality from JavaScript. So then, what we do is like, so you have one file which is nativescript.camera.ios.ts, and then there's an Android equivalent, which will also have take picture. You see, it's the first thing. But this one will straight away make calls to the native Android API. So what happens is that when you build your application and you use this module, and you when you build the application, you use this module. At the build time, if you're building for iOS, we will take the nativescript-camera.ios.ts and we rename it to nativescript-camera.ts, and this becomes your library for the camera. But while if you're building the application for Android, we'll basically rename the Android file for you. So that later on, when you call take picture, because we call take picture, name this function the same on both platforms, it will just give you the code that you need, which is pretty cool. So
I'm so happy.
Underneath, our abstraction does all the Android and iOS calls, but it is kind of like taken care of for you.
This is like way too easy.
It should be, right? That's what we're trying to do.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate this. I've been meaning to do this for months, but I mean, I just haven't had time to, but I'm really glad. I'm really glad I finally did. So.
Yeah, I mean, it went really smoothly. Apart of my lack of knowledge of how to load an image, I think I hope you had pretty smooth experience with it.
Yeah.
It only annoys me that your VS Code didn't like the debugging
Yeah.
functionality. It's really cool. So we do another session another time on debugging.
Yeah.
I'll show you because it is really awesome, especially in VS Code.
Yeah, I mean, I really like your docs as well. For
You do?
like, yeah, they're just I mean, I haven't gone that deep, so we'll see once I get into it, but they're really easy to it's like easy to digest.
That's cool. That's a very good feedback.
It's very like self-explanatory a little bit, and then you have enough like examples to where I can just copy paste it, so that's helpful. I don't know. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, like documentation was always something that we had to fight with because it's not easy to make something that is accessible to everyone, right?
Right.
Different people like in different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the code snippet is a big thing. Like,
Yeah, for sure. It's huge.
it helps me not to go to documentation.
Oh, yes.
I'm one of those terrible developers. Like, I tell everyone, like, go to documentation, but I don't do it myself. So.
All right. Well, anyways, tell Dan I say hi, and I'll tell Jen and Nick thank you.
I
And
will. I actually have a call with them in 2 minutes. So,
I know, in
I'll
4 minutes. Okay, sounds
yeah,
good.
4 minutes. All right.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.